Shalom Facebook, family and friends, brothers and sisters. And once again, I'm coming at you guys live with another awesome video on the behalf of Solid Foundation Israelite Academy. That's SFIA, Solid Foundation Israelite Academy. Please share this video with family and friends. You can also visit me on YouTube, Solid Foundation Israelite Academy. And please, brothers and sisters, go and check me out. Subscribe to my channel. Last but not least, you can find me on Twitter, and that's your boy Israel. You can follow me. So, what is the topic of discussion today? What is this lesson about? Well, I'm going to be going into the title for this lesson is smoking weed a sin? All right? Is smoking weed wrong? Is smoking weed a sin? We see Jessica Matt B is watching. We appreciate you, my sister. Thank you for your time and effort. Hope all is well with you. Peace and much love and respect. Now, is smoking weed a sin? Is smoking weed wrong? Well, you know what we're going to need to state this claim, to back up this? We're going to need the King James Bible. So what you're going to need is a King James Bible. I'm going to use the King James Bible. You will also need the Apocrypha books that was taken from the King James in the 1800s by the Roman Catholic Protestants. And if you want to take notes, you could take notes. So I'm not going to procrastinate any longer, guys. I'm going directly into the Bible, and I'm going to show you in the scriptures that, you know, smoking weed, it is wrong. Smoking weed is wrong. I'm going to show you in the Bible. Now, listen to me carefully. I said smoking weed is wrong. So I'm going to show you in the Bible. The first book, chapter, and verse that I'm going to that would be Genesis 1 and 29. Genesis being the first book in the Bible. So Genesis chapter 1, verse 29. This is exactly what it reads. It says, and God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and for every tree is in the which is for fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. So this is Genesis 1 and 29. The Heavenly Father said that he gave us every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth. And he said, this shall be to you for meat. This is what he told the Adamites. So it seems like in Genesis 1 and 29, the Heavenly Father gave every herb bearing seed to us for meat, which is food. He gave every herb bearing seed, every herb that bears seed, he gave to us for meat, which is in terms of oral consumption. So if he gave to us every herb bearing seed for meat in terms of oral consumption, smoking weed is wrong. All right. And there are many synonyms for what you call weed. Some call it marijuana, some call it pot, some call it dope, some call it stuff, loud, smoke, grass, doja, reefer. There's all kind of synonyms for this plant. Okay. So, and also the plant is known as cannabis. All right. So there are two species of this plant. Two species of this plant. You have species 1, which is hemp, and you have species 2, which is marijuana. What's the difference between hemp and marijuana? The difference between hemp and marijuana is that the hemp plant has a lower percentage of THC. The marijuana plant has a higher percentage of THC. So when it comes down to these two species of plants, which is the hemp plant and the marijuana plant. The difference is the hemp plant has higher percentages. The hemp plant has lower percentage of THC. The marijuana plant has higher percentage of THC. Once again, two species of cannabis plants, hemp and marijuana. Marijuana has higher percentage of THC. Now, what is THC? THC is tetrahydrocannabidiol. That's a long word. Tetrahydrocannabidiol. That's what THC, that's the abbreviation for THC. And THC is the component within the cannabis plant which gives you that euphoric feeling. It gives you that high, or what some may call being stoned. So if you extract the THC from the cannabis plant, you would not experience that high feeling, or you would not experience that euphoric feeling or being stoned if you extract the THC from the cannabis plant. Now, however, we know there are two species of cannabis plant. Species 1, hemp. Species 2, marijuana. Both plants contains THC and also CBD. All right. Now, what is the CBD? The CBD is cannabidiol, which is the component for medicinal usages, medical usages. Now, guys, let me put this out here. So is smoking weed wrong? Is smoking marijuana wrong? Absolutely, because you're not supposed to burn the plant. You're not supposed to incinerate the plant. The plant can be used in the form of a herbal tea, or it can be used, in form of medication, orally wise, but the plant is not to be burned. It's not to be incinerated. It's not to be smoked. So let's go to another book chapter and verse in the Bible. Let's check out Genesis 2:16. This is Genesis 2:16. Genesis 2:16 says, "And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou may freely eat." Now we know that Genesis 2:16 is dealing with many spiritual perspectives, but we're just dealing with perspective concerning cannabis or marijuana, what you would call weed. So Genesis 2:16 says that the Lord God commanded the man, of every tree of the garden thou may freely eat. So you can see right there, herbs was created to be orally taken. They was not created to be burned. They was not created to be smoked. They was not created to be blazed. We see Nikki Johnson. Peace and much love, my sister. Glad you could tune in to be a part of this wonderful lesson. Once again, the topic of discussion is smoking weed wrong? Is smoking marijuana wrong? Absolutely, it's wrong. Now, in general, it's not wrong to consume the cannabis plant, whether it's species 1 or 2. In general, it's not wrong. It's just wrong to smoke the plant. The plant shouldn't be smoked. The plant shouldn't be blazed. The plant should be taken as a medicinal tea in herbal form, or it can be taken in medical form or orally wise. But it's not to be smoked, because the reason why the plant should be taken orally wise, because the plant plays a dramatic role on your digestive system. Now, if you're going to smoke the plant, you're going to smoke the cannabis plant, it's not to be smoked. It's not to be consumed respiratory wise. So it's not to play a part on the respiratory system. It's to play a part on the digestive system. And the only way the cannabis plant can play a part of the digestive system is to be taken orally. Marijuana is not to be smoked. Weed, I don't care what you call it. Weed, pot, doja, ganja, it's not to be smoked. It's not to be burned. It's not to be blazed. It is to be taken orally. All right. Now, let me give you 2 Maccabees 5:27 in the Apocrypha. So when you go into the Apocrypha books that was taken out the Bible by the Roman Catholic Protestants, when you go into 2 Maccabees 5:27, it talks about Judas Maccabeus, which was a Jew, how he fled into the wilderness, you know, and while he was in the wilderness, he fed on herbs. So this is 2 Maccabees 5 and 27. 2 Maccabees 5 and 27 in the Apocrypha. But Judas Maccabeus with 9 others, or thereabout, withdrew himself into the wilderness. The wilderness is like the wilderness, like what you call the desert or something. And he lived in the mountains after the manner of beasts. And with his company, he fed on herbs continuously. So this is 2 Maccabees chapter 5, verse 27 in the Apocrypha. It tells you that Judas Maccabeus with 9 others, and these was all Jews, because you so-called Negroes today, you are the true Jews that the Bible speaks of. And Judas Maccabeus was a Jew that was fighting against the Seleucid Empire, or what you would call, or what you may call the Grecian Empire. So you had the Maccabean revolt. You had the Jews and the Grecians that was, you know, they was fighting against each other. The Jews was trying to, you know, take back Jerusalem from the Greeks. But anyway, 2 Maccabees 5 and 27 in the Apocrypha, it says that Judas Maccabees, when he was in the wilderness, that, you know, he fed on herbs continuously. He fed on herbs. He didn't smoke the herbs. He fed on the herbs. He didn't blaze the herbs. He fed on the herbs. So let me tell you pothead something. All right? All you blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the Israelites. Blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the Israelites. You are God's chosen people. And you was called to be a holy people. You was not called to be potheads, dope heads, weed heads. You was not called to be that. You was called to be holy people. Now, once again, for the very last time, you don't supposed to smoke weed. You don't supposed to smoke marijuana. It can be orally taken in medicinal usage as a herbal tea, but you're not supposed to smoke weed. You're not supposed to smoke marijuana, because the plant was not created to be incinerated. It was not created to be burned. And I know what you're saying. Well, God created the plant. Yes, he did create the plant. I'm not taking that away. Yes, he did create the plant, but the plant was not created to be incinerated. It was not created to be blazed or what you call smoked. The plant was created to be orally taken. Thus said the Lord. So is smoking weed wrong? Absolutely. Is smoking marijuana wrong, or what you may call dope, reefer, doja, ganja, loud? It's wrong to smoke it. Guys, let's go into Genesis 9. Genesis 9 and 3. So I'm going to Genesis chapter 9, verse 3. And it says, every moving thing liveth shall be for meat. It says, and for you, even as the green herb. This is Genesis 9 and 3. Even as the green herb have I given you. So the Most High say he gave us green herbs. I'm not taking that away. The Most High gave us green herbs. But he said the green herbs that he have given us, it shall be for meat. In other words, it shall be it was created to be consumed. It was created to be orally taken. Because when you orally take something, it goes directly to the blood because it has to be digested. So the herbal plants that the Most High created, he created these herbal plants to be orally taken so they can play a major part on your digestive system. Now, how would herbs play a part on your digestive system if you're going to smoke them? If you're going to smoke herbs, how would they play a dramatic role on your digestive system? If you're smoking it, it's not playing on your digestive system. That's playing on your respiratory system. So herbs was not to be respiratorily taken. They was to be digestively taken, orally wise. So is smoking marijuana and weed wrong? Absolutely. And this is for all you potheads, man, that want to keep trying to justify that God created the marijuana plant to be smoked. He didn't create the marijuana plant to be smoked. He created the marijuana plant to be taken orally, not respiratory wise. All right, let's keep going on. Now, like I said, weed, when you're dealing with weed, marijuana, in its natural form, it has 40% CBD. So weed in its natural form, or what you may call marijuana or cannabis, it has 40% CBD. Now, what is CBD? CBD is cannabidiol, which is the main component in cannabis that plays a part of your physical. It plays a part of medical usages in terms of healing a person. It's CBD, cannabidiol. CBD is the abbreviation for cannabidiol. So the natural marijuana plant in its natural state has 40% CBD, cannabidiol, that is extracted from the plant in terms of an oil that plays a part of your health. It can benefit your health. Now, what about the THC? What about the THC in the marijuana plant in its natural form, or what you may call the weed plant? The THC is 2%. So weed in its natural form contains 2% THC, and weed in its natural form contains 40% CBD. But guess what, guys? Not today. Guess what, Matthew Doc, Vanessa Israel, Nikki Johnson, Maurice Hodge, Jessica Matt B, Kevin Harris. Guess what? The weed today is not 40% CBD. You know why? Because the weed today is heavily genetically modified. A lot of you niggas is smoking GMO weed today. Genetically modified. Anything genetically modified has been altered. It's not natural. Any plant that is genetically modified, that means that it's seedless. That means that it's seedless. It doesn't contain seed. And we know the cannabis plant contains seed. Genesis 1:29, we already read that, but I'm going to read it again in terms of dealing with the seed. Genesis 1:29 says, and God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed. I gave you every herb that bears seed. All the herbs that I gave you, which bear seed, he says that should be for meat for you. It should be for meat for you. Now, if you're genetically modifying the cannabis plant, that means that it's not bearing seed if you're genetically modifying the cannabis plant. So a lot of you niggas today is smoking genetically modified marijuana, which is very hazardous to your health, because not only is the plant heavily genetically modified, the plant has heavily been sprayed with pesticides. Like they spray the marijuana plant today with roach spray and many other pesticide chemicals that they put on the cannabis plant. Last but not least, genetically modifying the plant. So when you go off and smoke that marijuana, or when you go off and smoke that pot, what you call cannabis, you're getting an overdose of pesticidal chemicals. You're getting an overdose of pesticidal chemicals, roach spray, and last but not least, it's not playing part on your health because the CBD has been totally extracted from the plant. So what they did was, when they genetically modified the marijuana plant, they took out the CBD. They totally took out the CBD, and they upgraded the THC. THC, technical tetrahydrocannabinol. I believe that's what THC means. That's why they call it hydro. When you smoking, they call it hydro, because hydro comes from tetrahydrocannabinol, which is THC. So you're not getting the CBD today, guys. You're not getting the CBD today because the CBD has totally been removed. You're getting high amounts of THC. That's all you're getting. So when you smoke that marijuana, that's why you're so damn high. Because you're thinking that marijuana is for medical usages. It was for medical usages long as the CBD remained. But when they took out the CBD, the only thing left is the THC. And I'm going to tell you something, especially for you guys that's smoking marijuana, this genetically modified marijuana. Now, when you smoking marijuana, did I not tell you that the marijuana today has heavily been genetically modified? Did I not tell you that they removed the CBD in the marijuana today? Did I not tell you that they removed the CBD and they upgraded the THC? They increased the THC. Let me tell you something. High levels of THC, high levels of THC destroys the sperm count in males. High levels of THC kills sperm cells. So you men that want to continue to smoke this genetically modified weed, which does not contain CBD at all today, which has high amounts of THC, you're killing your male sperm count. Okay, guys? Marijuana, weed, pot, what you call, better yet known as cannabis, it was not created by the Most High God to be smoked or burned. It was created to be orally taken in the form of medicinal tea, in the form of a herbal tea. All right? Now, guys, I told you there was 2 species of cannabis plant. Species 1 is hemp. Species 2 is marijuana. Now, do you not know hemp? Let me show you guys on the computer. Hemp has 50,000 uses and benefits. Paper products, you can make paper products out of hemp, textiles, plastics, body care products like lotions, oils, construction. Hemp can even build houses. You know, livestock, fuel, you can make gasoline from hemp. You know, nutritional supplements, essential oils, medicines, foods. You know, all these just 50,000. Hemp, you can get 50,000 uses and benefits from hemp. And that's species, species 1 out of the cannabis plant. As I was telling you guys, cannabis has 2 species. Species 1, which is hemp, and species 2, which is marijuana. The only difference between these 2 types of cannabis plants is that hemp contains more CBD than marijuana. Hemp contains more CBD than marijuana. Marijuana contains more THC than CBD. So marijuana is high in THC, but it's low in CBD. And hemp is high in CBD and low in THC. That's the only difference between these 2 species of cannabis plants. But both plants contains THC. It's just marijuana contains higher amounts of THC, which gives you that stony feeling, that high feeling. You're not going to get that hot, that stony euphoric feeling from hemp like you would do marijuana, because I believe in the hemp plant, taking a wild stab, I believe when it comes down to the THC, I believe the hemp plant, what is the percentages? I can't remember the percentages. I believe the hemp plant has 3%. I want to say 3%. 3% of THC in the marijuana plant has, I believe, 20 to 40% of THC. Or something. No. It's not like that, guys. I believe it's, I haven't done this lesson in a while, man. You guys, trying to remember this stuff is overwhelming. But I believe that the CBD, I know the CBD in hemp is higher than the CBD in marijuana. And the THC in marijuana is higher than the THC in hemp. But I just don't know the exact percentages. You know, I don't want to get the wrong percentages. So for right now, guys, I'm going to leave the percentages alone. But I do know this is facts, that hemp contains more CBD than marijuana. And marijuana contains more THC than CBD. But I'm going to leave the percentages rates alone for right now, because I don't want to tell you guys anything wrong. But yeah, just keep this in mind. Marijuana is not to be smoked. Okay, hemp is not to be smoked. It's to be orally taken, you know, in the form of a herbal tea. Or you can extract the CBD from the hemp plant and you can create what you call hemp oil, cannabis oil, or some type of spray. So guys, like I said, this wasn't a long lesson at all. I just wanted to brush over, is smoking weed what you call marijuana? Is it wrong? Yes, smoking weed and marijuana is absolutely wrong because it's supposed to be orally taken. All right. Now, another thing, when you smoke marijuana, this is common sense. This is just critical thinking, common sense. This is just rational thinking. Kevin Harris, Jessica Matt B, Nikki Johnson, Vanessa Israel, Matthew Doc Anderson. Now, when you're smoking marijuana, what is a sign to let you know that smoking marijuana is absolutely off? It's wrong. You begin to cough. When you're smoking marijuana, why is you coughing when you're smoking marijuana? When you're smoking this pot, why are you coughing? Because that's your lungs giving you a signal to let you know that smoke doesn't belong in there. Smoke doesn't belong in the lungs. Smoke does not belong in your respiratory system. So when you're automatically coughing, that is a naturalistic symbol to let you know that your lungs is telling you to get the smoke out of here. It doesn't belong in the lungs. Because you're not supposed to be smoking cannabis. It's supposed to be orally taken. Another thing, guys, I don't want to leave out anything. Like I said, let's see if I left out something today. Marijuana today has no medical value like it did many years ago. Marijuana today has no medical values as it once contained. Why? Because they extracted the CBD and they upgraded the THC. Yeah, and CBD, what is CBD? Once again, that's the main component that benefits your health from the cannabis plant. So yeah, guys, I don't have nothing left. I believe I don't have nothing left over. Yeah. So the only thing I have left over is Bible verses, and then I will close it out. That's the only thing I have left over. Guys, I wanted to say, I really wanted to give you that percentages on that. The difference between the hemp plant and the marijuana plant. I really want to give you guys that percentage, man. Let me try to give you guys that percentage before I close out. Wait a minute, let's see. Oh man, guys, just stay with me right quick. Let me try to give you guys that percentage. I hate to leave you guys in the dark about that percentage on the hemp plant and the marijuana plant. Let me give you guys that percentage right quick. Oh man, let's see. Yeah, guys, I'm going to give you guys the percentages. So let's get back to the diagram. I had to go get my paper. Now, the hemp plant, when it comes down to the THC in the hemp plant, it has 3% THC. The THC is tetrahydrocanol, which gives you that stony feeling. So the hemp plant has 3% THC. Doesn't have quite as much THC as the marijuana plant. The marijuana plant contains 20% THC. So yeah, there's more THC in the marijuana plant, but there's more CBD in the hemp plant. You see, both plants contain THC and CBD, but it's just more CBD in the hemp and more THC in the marijuana. See that? So guys, yeah, I have given you the actual percentages of the THC in both of the two species of cannabis plants. So I had to go and get that paper right quick. Now, okay, all right, so now the marijuana plant has 7 leaflets. The marijuana plant has 7 leaflets, and that's for divine usage. So let me show you. Okay, as you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why does the marijuana plant, what you call cannabis plant, marijuana or hemp. Why does it contain 7 leaflets? I'm going to show you why. Because 7 represents a number of completion. 7 is a divine number. 7 is a sacred, heavenly number. It deals with the Most High. It deals with the angelic creation. It deals with spirituality. 7. So this is why we cannot totally reject this plant and say it's wrong. The only thing wrong about the plant is just smoking the plant. But you can orally take the plant in the form of a tea. Now, the reason why I brought that out, because dealing with the pH scale, see, you're dealing with the pH scale. Okay, guys. Dealing with the pH scale, you have 6 to 0 or 0 to 6, which is the acidic level, the acidic region. And then you have 7 to 14. So from 7 to 14 is the alkaline region. And from 0 to 6 is the acidic region. pH means potential of hydrogen. The pH scale, basically, you need to, this is very important because the pH scale plays a part on your health. So this is the overall health scale to determine your health. So when your body is acidic, that means you're sick. If you're sick, if you got a common cold, if you got a headache, whatever, stomach ache, backache, inflammation in the joints, tendonitis, whatever. If you're sick in general, that means that your body is heavily acidic. That means you have an overload of mucus and acid in your body. In order to rid your body from sickness, you will have to upgrade your pH, by eating high alkaline fruits, vegetables, and grains and nuts. So basically, your body is sick when you are in an acidic region. And that's where the word sick comes from. You're not actually saying that you are sick, but you're actually saying that you are sick. So when you say, man, I feel sick, we are actually saying I feel a 6, because to be in a 6 is to be in an acidic level. And that acidic level breeds sickness. So you want to stay in an alkaline level. You want to stay in an alkaline level from 7 to 14. So when it comes down to the hemp plant, you can see that the hemp plant, the cannabis plant has 7 leaflets, and 7 represents completion. So this plant, the reason why it has 7 leaflets, because this plant was created to keep you in an alkaline environment from a 7 to a 14. So that's why the marijuana plant has 7 leaflets, because 7 represents completion. Anything from a 7 to a 14, that's your body in perfect health. But anything from a 6 down to 0, that's your body in sickness. So yes, the marijuana plant was used to bring you out of that acidic environment. That's why you have the 7 leaves on the plant, because when you take this plant orally, it brings you from out the acidic environment, which is a 0 to a 6. See that? So yes, I'm not going to totally reject the cannabis plant and say that the cannabis plant is wrong and evil. No, it's just wrong to smoke the plant, guys, because the plant's supposed to be used in the form of herbal teas, or you can extract the CBD from the plant and you can get what you call cannabis oil or cannabis spray and things of that nature. So I'm not going to just totally reject the plant, because, guys, the plant has its advantages. The plant has its advantages. Okay, the plant has been known to also cure cancer. So I'm not going to totally reject the plant. Just don't smoke the plant, man. Okay? All right? Don't smoke the plant. The last book, chapter, and verse I'm going to is the last book in the Bible, Revelation. And this is Revelation 22 and verse 2. Revelation 22 and verse 2. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life. This is talking about the kingdom, in the kingdom, which bears 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree was for the healing of the nations. So the leaves of the tree was for the healing of the nation. This is Revelation 22 and 2. Let me show you guys. Revelation 22 verse 2. You see, It says the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. You see, so these herbs, which are these leaves, they was created by the Heavenly Father to heal the nations. But they was not created to be smoked. Okay. So guys, as you can see, Revelation 22:2, the herbs, the leaves was created for the healing of the nations. You know, it was not created to be smoked. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Is smoking weed wrong? Is smoking marijuana wrong? Absolutely. Is taking weed and marijuana in general wrong? Absolutely not. You just have to take it, and you know, as in the form of a medicinal tea, a herbal tea like, or some other type of medical form. However, you're not to blaze it, incinerate it, burn it, or smoke it. Okay, guys. I think that's all I have for right now. Okay, so yes, the marijuana plant is beneficial. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say that the marijuana plant is not beneficial. It is. It's just not to be smoked. Guys, this plant can promote bone growth. It can relieve anxiety. It relieves pain. It reduces the risk of artery blockage. It's an anti-inflammatory herb. Deals with inflammation in the body. We know that inflammation in the body is just, you know, and when inflammation is in the body, it's just, you know, lack of oxygen in the cells. You know, so yeah, guys, this plant can be taken orally. It can be ingested orally in the form of a tea. It can also be vaped, you know what I'm saying, but not smoke. You can put this plant, these leaflets in a vapor, you know, or you can rub it. You can rub this plant into the skin, you know. The CBD can be extracted from the plant to be applied on the skin, you know. So guys, yeah, that's all I have to say. Is smoking weed wrong? Smoking marijuana wrong? Absolutely. It's not to be smoked, but it's to be orally taken. Okay, guys. So please share this video with family and friends. Until next lesson. Peace.